the StreamYard link to the patrons. Okay.
Oh, I should share this. Sorry.
Good job, Adam. You're killing it. You're killing it. I
Doing my
love
part,
it.
Tony.
Yeah. Say it like Starship Troopers. I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
Okay, we are live. I see it there. All right. I'll make sure to cut this all out of the audio version. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the June 2023 wrap-up of Hack the Movies. Hack the Movies live. I am live from my living room, and I've already explained it so much off stream. I don't feel like explaining on stream. The next live stream, I will be back in the studio. Do not worry. The studio exists. It just doesn't have internet. I am joined, almost as always, by official Joey C. Hello.
Hello, folks. Thanks for having me, Tony.
Hello. And Gil from One Take.
Thanks for having me, Tony.
Yes. And Adam Does Movies.
Hi, Tony. Thanks.
Yes. And real quick, before I get to the last two, I just want us all to congratulate Adam. He passed 70,000 subscribers. That
Amazing.
was a huge accomplishment. I would love
Congrats.
to be there one day. Gil, could you imagine waking up tomorrow and seeing you had 70,000 subscribers? Wouldn't that be amazing?
I know. I would be over the moon.
Yeah.
You know, Tony, fun fact, a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, but I don't know if you've heard of Sean Chandler. He's another jackass on YouTube who does movie stuff, and I've chatted with him quite a bit. He keeps an eye on me. And anyway, the day that I'm like, I hit 70,000. He posted 6 hours later, hey, just passed 250,000 on it was like 250,108. I'm like, you did not just pass that. You saw me post earlier, and you're like, I'm gonna peacock now and make this guy look like nothing. And it worked. So,
and we also have Wyatt from Cinema Trip Reviews. Hello, Wyatt.
Hey, thanks for having me, Tony.
And you're my enemy for stealing Crystal from me.
I'm sorry, man.
No,
had to be done.
Crystal did a review with Wyatt for Poltergeist, and a bunch of fans are like, I can't believe she's on another channel. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's fine.
I didn't know it was going to cause such a stir.
The weird thing is, I promoted the video. People are like, she's cheating on you. And I'm like, we're not dating, so she can do other shows. And finally, we have Casey, the final girl. Hello, Casey.
Hey, Tony. June is my birthday month, so this is appropriate. So nice to meet you all.
Happy birthday. Everyone say happy birthday. Casey. Happy birthday. Even though it was 20 something days ago. Okay. Before we go any further, Joey, what's the name of the game with these live episodes?
Well, Tony, the name of the game is Super Chats. If you want me or the crew to whisper sweet nothings into your ear, all you have to do is send a Super Chat within reason, folks. This is the internet. We have guidelines we got to follow. So.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
That's it.
I thought you had more going there. It didn't seem like that was the end of that statement. But
that was the end of it.
I was expecting
Super
more.
Chats, baby.
All right. First up, we've got the Boogeyman. Who here didn't see the Boogeyman?
Didn't? My hand's up.
Okay, you guys can hang around anyway. That's fine. Okay, the Boogeyman, based off a story by Stephen King. I got to see this movie. Lucky me, I got to see this movie twice in theaters. I got to see. I went last week. I'm like, you know what? I'm getting a little busy. Let me watch this movie. So I have it out of the way. And then last night I get a message from Casey saying she's too afraid to see it in theaters by herself. So I got to wake up bright and early this morning and watch the Boogeyman again.
The matinee showing, which I would have been okay if I went by myself. I just knew I would have been by myself. But then there were other people in the theater, apparently.
Yeah, we got
two young girls.
We got shushed by a grandma because we didn't see them. They were so quiet.
Trying to enjoy my horror movie.
So,
exactly.
What did you guys think of the Boogeyman? I guess we'll just go down the line here, starting with Joey.
Yeah, I loved it. It was 90 minutes, and I think that works well with horror.
Yes.
My expectations were low, since the Boogeyman is like kind of generic of like a monster. I kind of enjoyed the movie. It's usually hit or miss with like PG-13 horror movies, but this one was decent. It's a pretty cliche movie, but I think when it comes to the monster, I think the monster design was pretty cool. I was actually shocked to see people jump in the theaters for this. I don't know why my expectations were that low.
It was shot well. The scares were good.
The creative use of lighting was really cool. I think that's probably what I enjoyed the most about this movie. And the atmosphere was spooky. I was almost scared.
Okay.
I was almost scared.
This is a remake, right?
No, Adam, you're confused because there's multiple movies called The Boogeyman.
Yeah, I am confused.
Yes, the one you're probably thinking of is from 2005, and it's one of the only movies I've ever turned off and said I'm never watching this again. But then there's older movies called The Boogeyman. There's like a trilogy made by like a hack Italian guy, and they're about like an evil mirror that you have to destroy with water. They're not good. Okay, Gil, you said you didn't see it, right?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Okay, Casey, what did you think of The Boogeyman?
I thought this movie was awesome. I also went in with kind of low expectations. That's why it took me so long to actually see the movie.
Yeah.
Nothing will ever top Disney's Don't Look Under the Bed for me. I think that should really be made into a horror film. But yeah, I left this movie thinking it's like one of my favorites so far of the year, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I really did. I thought after you told me the director directed Host, like that's one of my I love that movie. I thought that was so good. And he did such a good job with this. Like the screenplay was okay. But the way what the director did with it was absolutely awesome.
The way the monster scenes are shot are really clever. Just to clarify, Host from 2021, I think, the one that was shot all on like Zoom, the horror movie that was shot on Zoom. There's also multiple movies called Host. One of them.
I thought she meant The Host, and I was like,
that's what I
okay,
thought too.
I'm actually really interested in that.
Yeah. Not The Host, the Twilight alien one, or the one about the giant monster. But yes, Host with where like the people do a seance on Zoom, which I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, Wyatt, what did you think?
I like the Host. I like Host more than this one. Like Joey said, it was kind of a very like by the numbers cliche type horror movie. I did like the monster design in it. I did expect what's his name, David Dasmalkian. I thought he was going to be in it way more than he was, because I actually liked his character. That was one of the more creepier scenes of the movie. I liked the first act of it, but as it was going on, it just kind of took me out of it. I don't think it was bad by any means. It's just kind of a very just mediocre horror film.
Yeah, I personally really enjoyed it. I thought the cast was really good. The dad was Mr. Zaz in the Birds of Prey movie. He's actually in the show we're going to talk about next.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mindy Project.
He is. I never watched the Mindy Project.
Yeah, very different from this.
But I know where these two girls are from. Adam's favorite shows of all time. The older sister was Dumb Robot Girl from Book of Boba Fett, Adam's favorite show.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I didn't know that.
I'm going to head out and see that then.
And then the younger sister is Stupid Kid Princess Leia from Obi-Wan. Actually, they're really good. They're really good in the movie. And actually, that actress was she did a good job in Obi-Wan. It's just who gives a shit about Kid Leia? I don't. But yeah, they're really good in the movie. It's got a very family driven story there. The monster was cool, but I feel like we were left out on some details about the monster. Like how was it traveling? Was it through that fungus?
Yeah.
Like that was what I thought.
Yeah, there was no backstory to the actual monster. That's what I left. That was my question.
Yeah, and then the crazy lady's like, they could have been around forever, and it's like, is there more than one? Can you clarify that?
Yeah.
At one point, there's a cool trap where they set up how they think it could be killed, and then that doesn't work. But then a different way of killing them works, and we're never really sure why. But me and Casey did notice they kind of almost stole the Predator line. Yeah. They were like, I saw it bleed, which means it can be killed. I'm like, wow, you just got away with that one. That was very
took the long way around
Predator. The same universe. And I thought the movie had a lot of feels like in the early 2000s. It reminded me of the movies back then.
Yeah.
Back then.
Yeah, back then. It was good old
But
days.
I also listened to like a podcast with the director, and the whole time I was thinking it reminded me of like The Conjuring a little bit. And I thought the monster reminded me of Jurassic Park, and he took a lot of inspiration from those set pieces, from like The Conjuring and from Even the
I will say there were jump scares, but they weren't annoying. Like I wasn't bothered by any of the jump scares. There was actually moments that are cool. Like I always bring up the first It movie that came out a few years back. Like when its eyes like glow in the dark, that's a creepy scene. But I guess they didn't feel confident, so they added like a huge musical sting to it, which ruined it. But like this, you can see the monster's eyes. Yeah, it's creepy. And also, I have the same moonlight as the girl in the movie.
Do you sleep with that?
Yeah, I got a moonlight because I have a galaxy lamp. And at night, I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm in space where I'd rather be. And I'm like, I'm cool. And then I realized while watching this movie, like, oh, I think this is for children. Okay.
Well, that was the one thing about the movie I kept questioning. Was like, it's a cool thing where like you're rolling the ball across the floor just to see the monster, but then like you're giving up your light source. You're putting yourself in the dark then at danger. So, like, it's cool, right. But
and I didn't really know like the limits of the light, because the very first kill, there's like a bunch of lights around and the monster's okay. Speaking of the monster, I had an animated GIF, but it's not working. So at the very end, not to spoil too much, the monster's mouth opens up and there's another monster inside its mouth. And it reminded me of the movie The Uninvited, which again, there are multiple movies called The Uninvited. But the one I'm talking about is the one about a mutant cat, and this is supposed to be animated, that throws up a different mutant cat who then kills people and crawls back into the first mutant cat's mouth. So it's not every day a AAA like released big title reminds me of this stupid fucking movie, which I will be covering at some point with Captain Boomies because it all takes place on a yacht. But yeah,
Boogeyman. Friends are terrible in that movie too. That was like another issue. Like your friends are horrible.
Oh my god,
find new friends.
I was telling Casey,
good point.
I've only ever seen people do this in movies, but like the main characters, their mom has just recently died. And there's like a girl at school, like kind of like making fun of her for having a dead mom. And I'm like, I remembered, you ever see Pet Sematary 2? The sequel? Yeah, there's a bully in that just keeps bullying the kid for having a dead mom. Like, I've only ever seen that in movies. I've never seen that in real life. That feels like a really weird reason to bully someone.
It's like a Halloween 4, I think.
Yeah, Jamie's an orphan.
Yeah, exactly.
Halloween 4. They're singing about it.
Yeah, I was like, I know some kids are cruel, but this is like the entire school body is chasing her and is so elated that she's an orphan.
They're all really, really mean. But
I thought the mom thing was going to be more of a plot point too, because they kept bringing it up. So I thought that was going to play into the story too, but it just never.
It plays that whole aspect with the whole seance thing. That didn't work for me. I thought that was a little overly complicated. But overall, I enjoyed it. It's a solid little horror film. Not the best thing ever. Not bad. It's just a fun one to just put on one night. It's enjoyable. So I think we all kind of liked it. Next, speaking of the dad from Boogeyman, he was also in a show called Based on a True Story that came out on Peacock, which Adam refused to watch. I don't know, Adam, why didn't you watch this? I thought you loved cock.
Okay, so I do love checking things out on the cock. Tony, here's the deal. This is actually really funny, long story. It's short, I promise. You sent me the list of movies to watch, and you put Boogeyman, and then under that you put let me get it in specific detail. You put The Boogeyman, and then you put Based on a True Story, parentheses Peacock, only need to watch the first episode. I thought Boogeyman was the thing that was based on a true story. I didn't realize there were two different things. So I'm like, I've seen everything else but that one thing on the list.
Okay. So
I didn't see this because I don't have reading comprehension, because you did clearly put you put a space in there.
That's my bad. I should have put quotations. So
no, you put a hard return. That's on me.
So Based on a True Story is about a couple who's like kind of failing financially. The one guy was like a former tennis star who like hurt his leg, and he's now being demoted as a coach at a
country club.
Yeah, like a country club.
Yeah.
She's
Coach
pregnant.
5-year-olds or something.
Yeah, the wife is pregnant. She's trying to sell houses, but she's not doing a good job. They find out that their plumber is the West Side Ripper, a murderer. And instead of turning him into the authorities, they're like, let's start a podcast with him. And it's actually kind of funny because like at first he's like, what the hell are you talking about? he kills the girl from Stranger Things, the older sister from Stranger Things. But yeah, then so basically the show is them basically trying to do this podcast, figuring out a way to monetize it secretly. Meanwhile, he is like getting like drunk with fame, and it's like getting to his head, and he's like overcomplicating the whole thing. I really, really enjoyed this show. Joey C, what did you think?
Yeah, I really love it. They mentioned my city in the first episode, which is really cool. It's a pretty unique idea for like a true crime, and there's a lot of commentary about like, oh well, we're here to honor the victims while glorifying the person who killed them.
Yeah,
and a lot of social commentary there. That's really cool. It also just feels like every other like show on Netflix in the 2020s. Like their like social political like sub commentary.
Not annoying though. It didn't annoy me at all.
No. It's more or less used as like a comedic like back conversation.
Yeah.
I have like 4 episodes done now. I really love it. I think it's a wonderful show. I think it's a fun, easy watch.
Okay. Gil, for the first half hour that you watched, what did you think?
Yeah, everything you said about how he's the killer, they decided to start a podcast with him. I haven't gotten to any of that stuff.
Well, when you said,
yeah,
I think earlier you said you watched it. I assume you watched the whole episode.
I told you I'm starting it now. I was going to try and finish before the stream.
All right, well,
but I will say, go ahead.
No, you go.
So I am enjoying it so far. I actually, just based on the title and the way it's kind of promoted on Peacock, it looks really goofy. So I was pleasantly surprised that they don't play it like just silly all the way through. Like the marital problems between the husband and wife feel very true to life. And I actually feel myself getting invested in the drama of it. It's tonally a little weird so far, but I wonder if that kind of equalizes over the next few episodes where they'll do that. It's actually funny. You mentioned in It where it does that over the top, like bum, bum, bum. They do that a few times in the show. It almost feels like Scream in those moments, which it just feels a little weird.
Which there is a Scream connection in this movie, but yes.
Is there?
Yes.
I'm enjoying it so far. I'm going to keep watching it.
Yeah, Gil got a lot of information just off the title sequence.
What did you think, Casey?
I haven't finished it yet, but I was a little worried at the start because I feel like there's so many shows like this right now, even a few on Peacock. But like The Flight Attendant, maybe Search Party, and this reminded me so much of Only Murders, but it does definitely have a different twist on it, which I'm really excited to see how it pans out. Yeah, I like it so far. It's fun.
Okay, Wyatt, what did you think?
I feel like I'm going to unfairly critique it because I only watched the first episode.
That's fine.
I mean, even though you'll watch the first 30 minutes, you still don't get the podcasting part within the last like 10 minutes or 20 minutes of it. It was okay. I mean, I was going to ask if it was supposed to be like a straight up comedy or not, because like you're saying, like how they're promoting it.
It's a dark comedy.
Because it wasn't like that first episode wasn't very humorous at all. It was okay. It had some weird spots in it, like whenever she's showing the house and she has like that weird like vision of her screwing the dude she's showing.
Yeah.
But like there's nothing else in the episode that's remotely like that. So I was like, I don't know if that goes through the rest of the series, but like that was a little weird because they don't do that throughout the rest of the episode.
That is one of my complaints. Sometimes the dream sequences are throughout the whole series.
Okay.
And they start to get a little ridiculous, and they're kind of like playing a trick on the audience where it's like, is this really happening? And then it's like, oh wow, the last 5 minutes have been a dream sequence. That does get a little annoying. I'm not gonna say when or how, but eventually a dead person has a dream sequence, which I was very confused by. But I will say, these two are like the hottest actresses I've ever seen. The redhead was in the newest Scream movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
And the bitchy friend who is married to the rich guy. I was like, as I said in that one video we did, Casey, Bury the Bride. I'm like, that was an instant Instagram follow.
She really reminds me of Megan Fox. She gives me Megan Fox.
Yeah, she does. But yeah, I had a really, really great time. Again, the dream sequences kind of took me out of it, but one other thing took me out of it. I was really, really enjoying it. But then this guy showed up, and I thought maybe this was a dream sequence because clearly that man's face is too small for his head.
I was just gonna say that, Tony.
Yeah,
and Photoshop that, didn't you?
And the episode starts with this guy talking. I'm like, what's going on here? Why is that man's face so small for his head? am I led to believe that this is a universe where people have small faces on their head? And I kept waiting for the guy to wake up from the dream, but it just never happened. So I don't know. We can all agree that there's something going wrong here. Adam, what do you think?
Yeah, it looks like a deep fake. Like a giant body and then a child's face, and then they put a mustache on it. So everything's wrong about it right now.
Casey, what do you think? This is clearly like AI or something, right?
I'm just distracted by the hair. It's the hair for me, not the face. It's the hair.
The hair is bad, is what you're saying, right? Can I have you on record saying that the hair is bad?
I don't think the hair fits the face, not the face.
That works. That works. Yeah. That'll get under his skin. I mean, this person that I don't know.
No.
This person that I don't know at all. But yeah, check out Based on a True Story. Now, everyone, let's take a break. Get your super chats in. We only have one so far. Get your super chats in right now. While we're waiting, let's read the one. Oh God, that's the wrong thing. Where's all of us? There we go. Get that. Oh no, get that small face off screen right now. Okay. No, that's now my face. Now my face is too big. Okay, here we go. Okay. We have Cody Bishop for $9.99.
Wow.
Amazing. Oh Jesus. Is 2 years long enough for general audiences to distance the bad taste of the DCEU from the new DCU? With the Flash, we're not even, I made the Flash its own separate episode where there'll be enough goodwill from audiences to give DC a second chance. I don't know. Just make a good movie. Just do that.
Yeah.
Just make a goddamn good. Sorry, what were you saying?
Me? I have a question.
Yeah.
Are you guys happy with the recasting of Superman?
I'm glad they're starting over because Henry Cavill was great. Henry Cavill was great casting, but his movies were garbage. He was handed literal shit. So I don't really care about that Superman. I feel bad for him. But yeah, just do a hard reset on that. Okay, next we have AJ Wizzle, who I did a birthday shout out for, and then he filmed himself watching my birthday shout out. Tony, there are rumors that you might return to the ring. He means wrestling ring, as you will become the Jake Paul of movie reviewers. Will you too be producing a special Tony drink for fans to enjoy? Tony Do? I don't think I'm going to make something called Tony Do, to be honest.
Sounds like something I'd like to drink.
Yeah. Now, what AJ is referencing is something that will be in Monday's episode of Hack the Movies, which is actually up right now on Patreon or for YouTube channel members early. I've been getting them out early. Thank you, AJ Wizzle. Panic Pun for $5 says, we want Space Cat. We want Space Cat. Oh, yeah. Hold on. 1 second. Speak amongst yourselves. Joey, do not put your cat on stream.
I will not.
Okay. Explain why while I go grab the cat.
Why is No Hard Feelings not on this list?
That's a good question.
Nobody knows. Tony just hates women, I guess. Okay,
yeah, that's right.
You heard it here. Tony hates women.
I can't put my cat on stream because I showed my cat on stream, and then 3 hours later she died. So
I feel bad. I feel bad laughing. It was just so random.
We can laugh now, but it was very sad when it happened.
Tony's cursed, is what we're saying.
The weird thing is, like, you didn't tell me about it. You were like, "Yeah, the last one died." I was like, "Wait, that happened?" Anyway, here's Space Cat. Here she is.
Kitty.
Aw, Kitty.
Okay.
Hello, Kitty.
Hold on. You want to say hi? That's the classic.
Oh, I heard her.
That's the classic. That's enough Space Cat for tonight. She's not going to let me do that again. Okay, the flail. Everyone scream as loud as you can. No, we're not doing that.
We're going to whisper.
Thank you for the $5, but we're not doing
it. Just overdub it.
Yeah, just throw some screams in there. Throw a Wilhelm scream in there.
Okay.
That was good.
Rob K wants Casey to say like the worst thing a woman could say to a guy. Casey, you ready for this?
Oh no.
You probably said this to dudes in the. Oh, hold on. Here we go. Say that.
Oh. I feel like that's the worst thing a girl could hear too.
Yeah, it's the worst thing anyone could hear.
You want me to say this?
He wants you to say it. He paid $5. You don't technically have to, but he's paid $5.
I think you'll be okay. Okay.
Okay.
Tony, you know I like you, but we need to talk.
Oh my God, my heart hurts.
Yeah. Every guy. The we need to talk. I had to yell at my one ex because she literally texted me like we need to talk, but it was about like buying furniture or something. I'm like no. I'm like no. You don't. That's not a we need to talk. You have to include what the subject is. The we need to talk is if we're fighting.
It's when you turn into George and just start ignoring everything, like the calls and texts. It's like, I am not allowing you to break up with me.
Like the girl hires Kramer to break up. I'm sure Rob K is like clipping that and just gonna send that to people.
Yeah.
Okay, we have any more super chats coming in because Casey's gonna head out after this, so we'll give it another minute. How's everyone doing?
I was asking earlier why No Hard Feelings isn't on this list. Are you talking about that separately too?
Because I forgot it was coming out.
There it is. And there it is.
Have time to watch it. All right.
The truth is revealed.
All right. That
there it is.
That's literally why it's not on there. It looked funny. Was it good?
I thought it was good. Yeah, I liked it.
Okay,
all right, we talked about it.
I wanted to check it out.
Is that the Jennifer Lawrence movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that one looked funny. It looked hilarious. Okay. We're gonna move on. Casey, thank you for joining us.
This was fun. Thank you, guys.
Are you sure you don't want to pretend to know about Transformers? No, I'm kidding. You can head out.
Okay.
Tell everyone.
I saw the Mark Wahlberg one.
Oh God.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Tell everyone where they can find you before you leave.
Oh, you guys can find me on Instagram at Casey the Final Girl, releasing a new Summer Body Massacre Fit for the Final Girl program July 4th. Be there.
Okay. And actually, Casey, you get one last super chat for $2. Bill says, "Good night, Casey."
Thank you so much, Bill.
All right. Goodbye, Casey.
Nice to meet you.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
Okay. It's boys' time. It's boys' time now.
It's our time down here. Madness.
I don't know how to pronounce that for $5. Royce keeps mentioning he thinks muscular women are hot on the show. Carano, Beal. Oh, I guess so. He's into Gina Carano and Jessica Biel. You should scream at him woke, like you like strong woman woke. I don't think there's a problem liking a muscular woman. I just think Gina Carano's kind of beefy. Jessica Biel I'm into. And also Gina Carano can't act. I don't understand why they put her in that stuff. Like,
I never thought of Jessica Biel as like super muscular though.
Yeah, neither did I. I guess in Blade, we did review Blade 3, so her arms were kind of on point. But yeah, I remember people were sad that Gina Carano got kicked off that Mandalorian show, and I'm like, well, I understand for like political reasons why you'd be upset, but she's a terrible actress. You're not missing much. Now I'm gonna watch her.
Made her such an odd fit for the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch her terrible Ben Shapiro movies. Okay, next up, Across the Spider-Verse, the kid Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. That's what I call it. Did you guys enjoy the previous film, Into the Spider-Verse? I assume everyone did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this one, I finally got a chance to see it, I think, right before Too Many Games. And I had a great time. I actually, I didn't know what to expect with this one. I thought maybe they'd go a little overboard with all the spider cameos. And I guess they kind of did, but they made it work. But no, I found it like highly enjoyable. So basically Miles Morales, it's a couple years later, he like fixed the hole in his universe, I guess, but there were problems. I like how they mentioned Spider-Man No Way Home. They're like, all right, you guys fucked up the multiverse, and so did that other Spider-Man.
Doctor Strange and the other Spider-Man.
Because I bet you there was someone at Sony being like, it doesn't make sense why the Vulture is in Morbius. Can you please make sense of it? And they went,
I'm sure everybody's concerned about that.
You know what? Before you give me that start, fucking Miss Chen from the Venom movies makes a cameo. So I'm pretty sure someone at Sony was like, you got to mention.
Terrible.
You know, like Miss Chen, she was the best character.
That was so bad. It's just like, whatever. I don't need no Spider-Man in my life. He leaves. It's so dumb.
So yeah, so different characters are being spread out across the multiverse, and it's up to Spider-Man 299 and his ragtag group of all the Spider-Mans ever joining in to hunt everyone down and send them back to their appropriate dimensions. Yeah, so let's just go down the list here. Joey C, how did you feel about this film?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm spoiled with all my other superhero movies. There's no post-credit scene. But, and you know, it's funny. I've also seen comments that it wasn't woke enough, which is
really?
Like
because literally,
ridiculous.
listen, literally, when I scheduled this live stream, like the first comment we got was some guy going, "Across the Spider-Verse sucks. It has all this woke stuff." So that's a shock to me, Joey.
The movie did feel a bit long this time around. I thought 2 hours and 20 minutes was pushing it a bit. It felt a bit bloated and boring at times, but I still enjoyed it overall. I really dug the animation style of this movie. I thought it looked fucking awesome. It was probably the closest I've seen to like an actual movie. Like if you took a comic book and made it into a movie with like the art style and everything. It's obviously filled to the brim with characters, and it's filled to the brim with fan services, which is really cool. And the references to the MCU was awesome, and plus Spider-Man 2099 was cool as hell.
Yeah, I forgot everything I knew about Spider-Man 2099. He's a werewolf? What the fuck is he? Why is he a werewolf? What the fuck is going on here? I'm like, I never really read that character. I knew he existed. I couldn't remember anything about him. Gil, what did you think about Across the Spider-Verse?
I love the movie. I think I've only seen it once so far, but at least my experience of watching it, I feel like I enjoyed it even more than Spider-Verse. I feel like on the kind of spectacle side, they just did more of everything. Like Joey talked about how it felt like a comic book on screen. Well, now we're going to go to other universes where they have unique art styles, which I thought was really cool.
And live action. We get to see the live action Donald Glover, which I guess that's his MCU version of Prowler.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
The Insomniac Spider-Man, the video game, he makes an appearance in there, although I never play with that costume. I don't think anyone uses the default Spider-Man costume when they play that game. I'm always the Baghead Spider-Man who is in here, which I have a problem because Baghead Spider-Man isn't in his own universe. It's like Spider-Man had to borrow a suit from the Fantastic Four one day. He doesn't wear that all the time. Wyatt, what did you think of Spider-Verse?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I think like what Joey C was saying, it was a little long. I would have cut it off like maybe 10 minutes, shorter. There was one, I don't want to go into spoilers, but like there was one kind of cliffhanger, but one a huge twist that I think they just should have went out on towards the end, about 10 minutes before it actually ended.
It felt like there were like 3 cliffhangers. Like I kept waiting for like to be continued, and it just didn't come.
Exactly. So by that time, like that was another question. Did anybody else know this was supposed to be like a part 1?
Yes.
A 2-part thing. See, I didn't.
I had no idea either.
Yes.
I was watching it. I was like, man, they're gonna have to wrap this up real quick, or else they're gonna have to go into like a to be continued territory. And sure enough, they did. But I thought it was great. The art styles were fantastic. I like the kind of the dual story between Gwen and Miles throughout the whole thing. I like that. And I think the whole explaining the Spider-Verse and the whole like canon events of all the Spider-Man, that was really well done. And I think it was explained that it wasn't too complicated. It was very easy to pick up on and kind of understand throughout the course of the movie. And Spider-Man 299, he did nothing wrong.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to like.
Are you like a Team Thanos guy too? Like, Thanos is the real hero.
I like the whole time he's explaining everything. I was like, okay, this makes sense.
I did see some people. Some people are like, wait a minute. So once they saved the Indian girl, that whole universe should have collapsed. But I think they make a point to say it doesn't collapse right away. Yeah, it's just like the sequence of events that's there will eventually cause that universe to collapse. But yeah, I agree with what you said. Adam, what did you think?
I liked it. I don't think I'm as high on the Spider Hog as you guys, but I did like it a lot.
His name is Spider
Ham, whatever. The first one I think was a little better because it was an actual completed story. Whereas this one, like so far it's pretty good, but I felt like kind of dirty when it was done because it just left you there. It just left you. It didn't clean up or anything. It's like, there you go. And, you know, I took my kids and we were all just kind of like, what the fuck? We're ending here? Like they built up for like 30 minutes. It was this big build up and then it was just nothing. It was over.
So you didn't know it was going to be a 2-parter either?
I did. I knew that, but I was still annoyed at how long it took. It's not like Deathly Hallows Part 1 where Voldemort puts up the wand and it's like super obvious it's going to end there. It's like, you know, Wyatt said, it just, there was like 3 cliffhangers. It's like, wrap up at some point.
Yeah.
And also, as far as the art style, I agree. Visually, it's insane, but it also kind of loses me in some spots because it's doing so many different art styles. It feels disjointed. The live action stuff being mixed in was a little weird. The Lego stuff was cute, but also
which they actually
wanted to be consistent. And the Gwen Stacy, you know, watercolor moments.
I like that. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it was pretty, but it was also kind of distracting. Like I'm not really focusing as much on what she's saying. I'm more like, what are we doing here with the background? It's melting, and so just a little bit too much style over substance for me this time. But I still really dug it.
I will say, I think I read that like the Lego thing was like a YouTuber who did a Lego version of like Into the Spider-Verse. He like animated the one sequence in Legos, and I think they hit him up afterwards to do that whole sequence in the movie. So that's actually really cool.
He was like a child.
I like how they're like you're one of our best Spider-Men. Like, you're one of our best agents.
I like that they were like recycled audio for like, I don't think J.K. Simmons did anything new for this movie. I think they're just recycling audio from the old movies. I really enjoyed The Spot, Jason Schwartzman, who's in another movie we're going to talk about. That's a character I've never cared about. And I'm like, wow, they've actually made this character very, very interesting.
He was awesome. He was awesome.
Yeah, he was awesome. They had a lot of fun with like his fight scenes. Yeah, he was really cool. You wouldn't think of him as the villain to take over the universe, to be honest.
And I like his metamorphosis like throughout the movie too. Like, his design by the end is awesome.
Yeah, he's like more unstable toward the end. I kept like, because he kind of dips out of the movie for a while, and I forgot that he's supposed to be the main bad guy, because then Miguel becomes like the bad guy for a large part of the movie. I did like that classic Peter Parker is now a dad. I thought that was fun. He's got, like, I don't know why he's bringing his baby with him to all this stuff.
You could make the argument that there was like an emergency. He had to run and he had the baby with him. But then later we see him very intentionally go back for her.
Yeah, that's right.
I like the revelation that Gwen Stacy killed her Peter Parker, like on accident, but like they kind of left that vague in the last one. I think they just said he died. They didn't mention that he was the lizard, apparently.
Yeah, you see it for a second in the first one as she's explaining it. I think you see his silhouette transform from the lizard into Peter. Yeah. But yeah, it was cool to see it explicitly, like her POV of the story, this movie.
Yeah. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, anything else? How would you compare this to No Way Home when it comes to or any of the multiverse stuff that's happened recently? So like No Way Home, Doctor Strange, and The Flash. How would you compare this to that? Anyone can say it.
I thought it was handled way better than those other ones.
Really?
Actually, the multiverse in this movie felt like part of the story and not just like a gimmick. It felt really connected. It wasn't just
fan service.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Remember this. Remember this.
It's more than just cameos.
Yes.
Which I like the second Doctor Strange movie, but that whole Illuminati thing is just a commercial for Disney Plus. Like all those characters were handpicked to remind you of Disney Plus properties. And the same thing with The Flash. It's like, let's remind you of all our Warner stuff that you can watch on Max right now. But yeah, so there were a couple, like, you know, like I said, the Insomniac Spider-Man, the Venom universe shows up, Andrew Garfield shows up, but like for the most part, they're like, here's another cool Spider-Man. He does this. This one's a T-Rex. It's actually doing it right, where it's like, I want to see different versions of these characters, not just cameos. Although I do still really like No Way Home. I enjoyed that one a lot.
I like the one that's just constantly narrating while he's doing stuff. Like when you're searching for.
That was Ben Reilly. Like Ben Reilly has become like the most hated Spider-Man. Do any of you know that story from the '90s, the Clone Saga? It's one of the worst. So it's one of the worst sagas ever because it's like Ben Reilly shows up and he's a clone of Peter Parker. But then it was revealed that he really was Peter Parker. And the Peter Parker for the previous 20 years was the clone. And then fans went, what? That sucks. And then they had to like backtrack. And then Ben Reilly afterwards just hung around being a real loser. So I like how in this movie he's like, I'm just so sad. And then he's like, I'm doing an epic pose.
Perfect pose.
But yeah, it was nice seeing like a cool version of the Rhino, knowing that they're about to ruin him in the Kraven movie by making him a fucking mutant Rhino man. Just
don't you want to know why they call him Rhino, Tony?
Look, you could do Rhino. You can put him in a robot suit. It just can't look like a transformer like the last one. It's like, but now they're like, all right, we won't do the suit. We're going to make him a mutant Rhino man. I'm like, oh my God, no, that's terrible. That's the worst thing you could do. And now Kraven's got lion powers. I'm like, that's not his origin.
Yeah.
What the fuck is even happening? So yeah, I guess, do any of you have like a favorite Spider-Man that has been mentioned yet?
I mean, I like the Western one. He like shoots webs out of his shotgun.
That was cool.
That one, yeah, that's probably my answer.
Yeah, Adam, do you have a favorite one?
I can't remember his name. The Indian Spider-Man. I liked him a lot. He was awesome.
Oh yeah, he was cool.
He was really cool.
I loved how like cocky he was.
Yeah, I liked the Spider Punk.
Oh
yeah,
he
was
Yeah.
And again, Fat Lady Spider-Man. I want to know her deal. I need to know more about that. I'm like, didn't expect that Spider-Man to come out.
And I like with Spider-Punk though, like when they're walking throughout like the whole facility, when he's just like, you barely notice it. It's like a one-off thing where he's just grabbing stuff like different parts. He's like, you're just gonna take that? He's like, yeah. And then it actually comes up later in the movie why he was doing that. And it's
he was cool because like I feel like because he says he hates consistency. And like to show that like his art style is constantly changing. Like every other second he's drawn differently. I'm like, that must have taken for fucking ever to do.
His guitar looks like it's cut out of a magazine every time.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah. But yeah, Across the Spider-Verse, I thought it was great. I liked all 3 cliffhangers, even though there were too many cliffhangers. I like where it left off. I thought that was a pretty interesting premise to see how he's going to get out of that. I like the whole like revelation, not to spoil too much, but like Miles is an anomaly because he wasn't supposed to be bitten.
So we are spoiling things. Okay.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I thought
that was spoil anything, honestly, but here's the biggest twist in the movie.
That was freaking brilliant. I thought that was such clever writing, and it really, I mean, it's like, okay, Miles is here, everybody else is a Peter Parker. I don't understand why, and then boom, they hit you with it. Almost like it was planned out from the first film. I don't know if any of it was, but very, very clever.
Because he's going to have to prove himself as Spider-Man again. I think I think the last movie he had to prove he was Spider-Man to himself, and then going forward, he's got to prove that he's Spider-Man to like everyone else. I will say, criminal lack of Nicolas Cage. He didn't show up until much like the Flash. He didn't show up to the very end, and he was CGI. So they really got to go overboard on Cage on the next one. I need more Cage because he was the best part. I'm actually shocked how much they sidelined all those other Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
Like I think only Spider-Ham and then Penny were the only ones who came back. But yeah, that's it for Across the Spider-Verse. Now let's talk about a movie for grown-ups. Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
Yeah.
Now this is what is this? The 7th Transformers movie.
Yeah.
But it's not a part 7. A while back there was this elderly man who did a video thinking that this was a prequel to the Michael Bay movies. And I had to call out that senile gentleman and remind him that Bumblebee was a hard reboot, actually soft reboot.
This is such bullshit. I had the stupidest dumb argument with a person in the YouTube comments about this. They're like, it was never planned. It was never planned that Bumblebee was going to lead into the Michael Bay movies. I'm like, bitch, the movie ends with Bumblebee going into the same parking lot that he shows up at in the Michael Bay intro, and he turns into the same version of the car. Like, they did it intentionally to lead into Michael Bay.
Nope, because Unicron should be the Earth.
Well, yeah, obviously that's nothing.
And also Optimus Prime shouldn't be there. Like, again, it was a soft reboot. They're picking and choosing what they liked, but Bumblebee started over.
T-Money, you're right.
Yes,
that's what it ended up becoming, but that's not what the plan was from day one.
No. You're right. Bumblebee 1, it started off as a prequel, and they clearly, which I think was a smart choice, they clearly changed their mind. They just changed their mind really late into production. Because John Cena's character is some government guy from the first Michael Bay movie. It's like, well, he amounts to nothing now. So anyway, Rise of the Beasts, continuing from where Bumblebee left off. I like the first Michael Bay movie. I was let down by the second one. I enjoyed parts of the third one, but it was shit after that. Bumblebee won me back a little bit. But this one, I think this one is like probably what Transformers fans want. I think they finally found the balance of human characters actually making the Autobots feel like they're part of the narrative and not just there for action scenes. It felt like an episode of the cartoon, to be honest. It's like, oh, there's this device and we got to do this. And here's the new bad guy. Overall, I thought it was pretty solid. I mean, not the greatest thing ever, but it was solid for what it was. I don't know. What did you guys think?
Well, I've actually never seen any Transformer movies ever.
Wow.
So this was an experience. I dig the human leads, I guess you want to classify the humans in this movie. I think they portrayed like the humans struggle nicely against like giant robots. Anthony Ramos is a relatable, likable character. I thought the relationship between the humans and the robots were handled good. Like the robots were like really weary of the humans, which from what I understand was not the case like in previous movies. Like they've worked together. What do you call the animal bots?
What are they? The Maximals?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
They are fucking awesome. Those were sick as hell. And the opening sequence of the animal bots was badass. And like I said, they look amazing. And the soundtrack, best part of the movie, the soundtrack was banging, dude.
Yeah, the last one was 80s. They jumped to the 90s for this one. Gil, what did you think?
I didn't see the movie.
Good job, Gil. Wyatt, what did you think?
He saw the opening. He saw the opening, and he's got a lot to say on it.
Okay, well,
totally, I'm not there.
Adam, what did you think of this film? Even though I know it's your opinion doesn't matter because you don't understand the rich lore and the multiple timelines, but keep going.
Well, unlike Joey C, I've seen all of the Transformers films. I celebrate the entire catalog. I'm like Tony. I like the first one quite a bit, and then it just completely nosedives pretty hard every movie after. There's parts in 2 and 3, and I think Shia is pretty fun as like a human lead, and Megan Fox is fun to look at, so you got that going. This one, I don't know. It was okay. It was okay as a takeaway. I thought the humans in here were kind of lame for the most part. And they made less sense than the Sam Witwicky stuff. Yeah. Like the humans here where Optimus is like, all right, let's throw their ass in this building so they can walk through a hallway that we can't fit through. That was legitimately one of the things they had to do.
I did like that the Transformers are using them to carry out their mission. They're like, hey, we can't do this. Go in there and do that.
I did laugh really hard at a spot, like it's pretty early on, but Optimus shows up, badass as he always is, with the sword and everything. And then it's not a Decepticon. I can't remember what the villains are called in this. The Scourge or something?
Sporg or something?
Sporg.
I think it's Scourge. I don't remember what
Scourge or Scourge. But anyway,
which I think is Peter Dinklage, which is pretty funny. I think Scourge is the guy. I don't know what the team name is though. But keep going.
Yeah, the Unicron bros. But Optimus Prime throws a punch, and the main bad guy blocks it and hits it back, and Prime is like, impossible. And I'm thinking like, what? You get your ass kicked constantly. But then I had to be like, oh wait, this is a reboot, and we technically have only seen him be cool in Bumblebee for a little bit. Yeah. So the whole soft reboot thing is kind of confusing my brain because although they do look kind of different from the Michael Bay ones, they're still pretty close, at least close enough, as far as how
I will say The last movie was pretty good with their designs, kind of making them a little bit more like the cartoon. They still kind of doing this, but they're starting to get a little. They're starting to make them a little too busy again. They got to reel that back in because that was what was refreshing about Bumblebee. It's like, oh, they actually look like Transformers for the first time, not just hunks of metal. And now they're getting a little too busy. I usually hate Pete Davidson, except for the beginning of The Suicide Squad because he got shot in the face. Because I was like dreading that movie. I'm like, if I got to hear this fucking guy's voice. And then as soon as he got shot, I'm like, give James Gunn the entire DC universe. Just give him the whole universe. Yeah, Pete Davidson was fine. He was kind of annoying in it. Like I like the human characters. Adam, you said you didn't like them, which means I guess you just hate strong Puerto Rican leads. And our Puerto Rican correspondent, Mike, the bearded outlaw, he will have some things to say to you about that. He will be calling you out later.
Side note, didn't the main guy really sound like John Leguizamo, or is it just me? I thought he sounded a lot like Leguizamo.
I guess they all just sound alike to you, Adam.
Well, yeah, obviously,
that's very offensive.
They all sound the same. They all look the same. But he specifically sounded a lot like Leguizamo. I'm like, is he related to this guy?
Real quick, guys. Did anyone see Adam make a single tweet about African American Music History Month this month?
No.
Hey, show of hands, fam. Who saw The Blackening in theaters and supported people of color, African film?
Shit, you got me there. I actually, that was another one. That was another one I really, really wanted to see, and I just forgot.
You forgot.
Because I saw the first half hour of it. It was great. I keep going back to that. Will
I actually I didn't really like it that much. I thought it was okay, and then of course, like the comments were great. You didn't understand it. You're white. You're like, okay, all right.
I can just imagine Gil just in the theater going like, "Well, I love them all so much. I don't want to see any of them die." I'm just kidding.
right, guys.
I did really want to see The Blackening. That movie actually looked pretty good.
It does look pretty funny.
Yeah. But no, I didn't get a chance to see it because I was celebrating African American music history. Anyway, yeah, so I think that's all we got to say about Transformers. I thought it was a fun and fine time. Had a big action scene at the end. It gives you everything you kind of want. I like that the human got a robot suit. It kind of reminded me of the old animated movie where Spike has like a robot suit. Yeah, and then it leaves off with a G.I. Joe post-credit sequence, which I don't think I don't think it's related to the most recent G.I. Joe movie because no one fucking saw that thing. So that's getting rebooted again. Are you excited for another G.I. Joe reboot?
Oh yeah. Can't wait. So excited.
Do you think I have obviously my kids, they don't even know what G.I. Joe is.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out who they're even doing this for at this point.
Yeah.
Like the big reveal at the end is for us sad middle-aged men who are going to Transformers 7. Like,
well, they did a Snake Eyes movie like a year or two ago.
No one saw that.
Yeah, because they released it and not like when lockdown was starting to loosen up and people were too afraid to go to the theater, but also people weren't going to risk it for a G.I. Joe Snake Eyes. And also Snake Eyes thing is that he's a ninja who doesn't talk, and then the whole movie in the trailer he's just talking nonstop and he doesn't wear his mask once. It's like, okay, apparently he doesn't. I didn't watch the movie, but apparently he doesn't get the suit until the post-credit sequence or something.
Oh my god.
And they put that shit in the trailer to make you think he wears it most of the time. But yeah, I enjoyed. It's probably the best Transformers movie. Although I personally enjoyed the Michael Bay one. That's more for nostalgia.
If you're it's better. It's better.
If you're a hardcore Transformers fan, of the franchise and stuff, this is probably more up your alley. But yeah, speaking of stuff that's up everyone's alley, there's a new Wes Anderson movie out, guys. Asteroid City. Now, I missed his last two movies, The Isle of Dogs. I never got around to watching that. And what was the last one? The French something. I didn't even know.
Yeah,
I had no idea that even came out. I'm like, how did that?
I haven't seen it.
How did I miss that one?
It's been in my watch list for a while now. I just haven't gotten around to watching it.
But no, I really like Wes Anderson. The Royal Tenenbaums, Life Aquatic, Moonrise Kingdom. I love Grand Budapest Hotel. That's one of the best comedies I've seen.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that one's perfect. And even the Fantastic Mr. Fox is great. So yeah, I saw that this was coming out. I'm like, you know what? I really want to see Asteroid City. I like Wes Anderson. I like his quirky style. And as you can tell by this poster, it stars every actor who's ever lived, apparently. It's just everyone. Everyone's in the movie. Did you think of an actor? They're in the movie.
And there's a lot that they don't even say on the poster. There's like
there's more than this. Yeah. There's more than this. So the movie is basically, how to sum this up. Yeah. It is a play that is being televised, and like the color sequences are like what the play is, the story of the play. And then there's black and white sequences that are like the production of the play, and which are also like a backstory about the writer and stuff. And we see how those two universes kind of cross over. For example, they cross over unexpectedly sometimes. Like, for example, Bryan Cranston's the narrator, and he's just in a scene and he realizes he's not supposed to be there and then just awkwardly shuffles away. I had a great time with this today. I really enjoyed it. Where did you guys fall? What do you think, Joey?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I think the set design is really cool.
Yeah,
it's probably the best I've seen in years, besides like that Harry Styles movie, Don't Worry, Darling. But I do feel like the movie didn't really make an effort to like explore any deeper of like the stiff characters. Sometimes that dry delivery was really funny, but in like the more dramatic moments, it just didn't fit really. And half the people I asked loved it, and the other half of the people hated it. But Scarlett Johansson did fantastic, like always. But I feel like everybody else was almost like trying too hard to be like a deep Wes Anderson character, if that makes sense.
Well, a lot of them are his regulars, like Jason Schwartzman. He's been doing this for a while.
That's true.
Yeah, since Rushmore.
Gil, did you see more than the first 30 minutes of this?
I saw less than the first 30 minutes.
I
saw the trailer.
What did you
I
think
love
of
Wes Anderson. I really want to see this, but I'm in the middle of a move. That's why I'm doing this out of a WeWork, unventilated WeWork phone booth.
What a very unprofessional setting. Can you guys see my
for hack the movies? I mean, come on.
Can you see my dad's like eagle shrine in the background? Wyatt, did you see this movie?
I didn't, but you actually kind of sold me on the story, because I didn't get any of that from watching the trailer.
The trailer,
like the play and stuff.
Yeah, the trailer doesn't tell you much at all. Adam, where did you fall on this one? I know you love art house stuff.
Yeah. I'm very hit and miss with Wes Anderson. I think a lot of people are, except for his diehards, and they're gonna absolutely love this movie regardless. I don't know, man. The first 20 or so minutes, I was fully invested. The visuals were so good. The set design was amazing. The costumes. But then as it just kept going, it kept getting deeper in the Wes Anderson, style. I feel like he's almost a parody of himself now. And it's kind of like Joey said, it's so hard to connect with any of the characters. And the movie is in on its own joke as far as the plot goes. It's like, let's just have all the characters jump up and start chanting, and nothing really matters at the end of the day. All the world's a stage sort of thing. And like you said, half the people will love it, half will hate it. I was in a theater with 12 people, and 2 different couples left during the film. So I stuck it out, but yeah, I don't know.
One guy left in my theater, and I was so happy, because he was a bigger dude, which is fine. I can't throw stones, but he was breathing so loud.
Like
and
Fatty
he was
McGee style.
He was like 2 rows. He was 2 rows behind me, and I looked up. He was on his phone for like the first 10 minutes. I think it was like me today. I spent all day in the theater today. I think he was just hopping around on movies, but he was breathing so heavily. I'm like, man, this is a very quiet movie, and I can hear him vividly. I enjoyed it. It's not my favorite Wes Anderson thing. I think the whole point of the story is like, people don't really know, like, I guess it's about the meaning of life, or like, what is the meaning of things. Yeah. And the characters don't know, the actors playing the characters don't know, and they're just having fun with that whole philosophy there. The alien is my favorite thing in the world. That whole scene with the alien, which is like
Yeah, that's the thing is there's parts of this movie that are freaking great, but I think as an overall package, it just kind of misses the mark as far as pulling at anything deeper than the superficial level.
If I had just paid full price for a ticket, and the whole movie was just that 5-minute scene of the alien just like having to pick up the meteor and not expecting people to be there and being real uncomfortable, and the movie just ended 5 minutes later, I'd be like, that's movie of the year. Okay, I'm out. That was perfect.
I did really like Tilda Swinton too. I liked her kind of like charm in this movie, and she was so excited about everything the explorers were coming up with. That was very cute. I like that.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. Like I said, it's got a solid cast. Yeah, if you like his quirky style, you'll probably like it. If you don't like his quirky style, you're probably gonna hate it. Yeah. But even hardcore Wes Anderson fans, I want to see like where they land on it, because it's not as good as his other stuff, at least to me. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Oh yeah, as I was leaving the theater, this old couple was like, "That's the weirdest movie I've ever seen."
You haven't seen Beau is Afraid?
Yeah, I was about to say. I'm like, I want it to be like, lady, that's not even the weirdest movie I've seen this year. Yeah. This isn't as good as Beau is Afraid. That's still my movie of the year. It's still my movie of the year.
I like Beau is Afraid more too, and I still don't even know if I like that movie.
I've been waiting to see it a second time for my
invested the whole time. I'll say that.
I didn't want to give people the impression that I didn't like Spider-Verse, but I was gonna tweet like, just walked out of Across the Spider-Verse. Beau is Afraid is still the best movie. But that was mostly just because everyone was like, it's the greatest movie I've ever seen. I'm like, nah, Beau is Afraid is way better than that. I will say the trailer, there was a trailer that played before this about like the aliens that are watching humans as a reality show. Did you guys get that trailer?
I don't
know.
How many trailers do you get before? What is the running time for trailers before movies where you go?
Oh, dude, I get like 5 or 6 trailers, and then that stupid Nuvi thing if it's Regal.
Okay.
My movies never start on time. It's always like a half hour afterwards.
Okay, I was just wondering if it was a me thing, because our Regal is seriously 30 full minutes of trailers.
Yeah,
same as mine.
So now I try to actually show up late now for movies because I've seen these trailers so many times. It's annoying.
Well, now that I'm like super close to a theater, I have to start thinking like that, because before it took me a while to get to my theater. So I was like, all right, I'm going to show up late anyway. And now I'm like, oh God, I showed up way too friggin' early. I got recognized in my theater the other night.
Hey,
this guy
your mom was there?
No.
Don't even hack the movies.
She's wearing your shirt with your face on it.
Those are coming back to the Retroware store. Stay tuned. They will be online probably after this next event. We'll get them up there. No, some guy online, he's probably going to be listening to this. He like looked at me and he's like, you have a YouTube show, right? And my new go-to now is if I'm being recognized like not in an event or something, my default is no, I'm just a regular guy. I work at the business factory doing papers. And then I look around at everyone and I go, I'm definitely not a very important famous YouTuber. I work at the business factory day and night working on my forms and files.
Very humble.
And then I went, yes, it is me. Let's take a picture. And then the girl behind the counter, I had to look at her and I'm like, I'm not that famous. Don't be impressed. And she's like, we had one of the guys from Impractical Jokers here once, and he was like kind of mean. So I'm the best famous guy who's ever been at that AMC theater, I guess. But yes, all right. That is it for Asteroid City. I liked it. Joey liked it. Adam hates art and only likes Shia LaBeouf movies. We're going to talk to our patrons. We're going to talk to our patrons now. We got a couple of them. Please send in more super chats. We'll do that after we talk to our patrons. Let's start with Michael here. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Tony.
Hello. So what movies did you see that were on the list?
Oh, I definitely seen Asteroid City. I didn't get a chance to see the Boogeyman, but I also managed to see The Flash this month.
What did you think of Flash?
I'm not sure about you, but was your audience into the part where like, oh, there's Nicolas Cage Superman, or this is Christopher Reeve Superman? Mine was very quiet for like the entire time.
They were not as loud. Too. They were not as loud as I thought they would be. We were all just kind of giggling.
I had a dad a couple rows up who was out of his chair going like this whenever I'm not even joking. It was so cringy. I'm like, dude, part of me was envious. Like, I wish I had that love and that, escapism. But another part of me was like, dude, sit down. This is embarrassing. Yeah. You have children with you right now. Don't give a shit about this.
That dude was only there for Michael Keaton. Hasn't seen any of the other movies.
Yeah, you remind me of that. You remind me of the teacher back in high school when he mentioned about the time when he saw Rocky, and basically, I think he mentioned by the time there was the ending of the movie, he basically did this whole pose thing at the very end, almost like an appreciation moment.
Oh gosh.
I mean, I can't joke. I used to be an asshole and dress up to go to movies just to be funny. So I can't make fun of any of those guys. What did you think of Asteroid City?
In terms of Wes Anderson filmographies, I do agree it's the least one that I can recommend for people who are not into Wes Anderson films, but I will say, according to some interview of Bryan Cranston, he admits that Wes Anderson wants this movie to be seen twice, and he compares to a meal that has so many spices and flavors. And if you have the time to slow this down, the first bite a minute ago, in other words, you basically need to watch it again just to understand what he's going for in terms of this weird narrative.
It definitely feels like you could get more out of it watching it again. I mean, it has to hook you the first. I'll definitely watch it again because I want to see. Because like things were clicking for me as I was watching. Like, oh, that's why that happens. That's why that happens. So I want to see if I could pick up other things there.
Yeah. Also, a quick question.
Yeah.
About the flash ring. When there's a scene with Nicolas Cage and Superman, and I know this was basically an idea from Kevin Smith, do you think he's going to get any residuals from this? Because it was all his idea, from what I understand.
Who? Nicolas Cage?
No, Kevin Smith.
No, probably not. Probably not.
Yeah.
Because I mean, yeah, I don't think that would ever happen. Maybe he could. They probably threw him something, but I don't think he's going to make a ton of residuals off the Flash. Although it's weird.
They probably get him 10%.
I will say
10% of the box office profit.
I just found out.
I was gonna say. Yeah.
I just found out recently that DC pays their writers like royalties better than Marvel. The same guy who created Thanos created KG Beast, who's like one of the henchmen in Batman v Superman, and apparently he got more money for KG Beast's appearance in that movie than he did for Thanos in any of the Marvel movies.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
But anyway, Michael, thank you for stopping by. We're going to move on to the next person. Thank you for being a patron.
See you next month.
See you next month.
Yeah, take care.
Goodbye.
I don't remember KG Beast being in Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, he's the scary Russian henchman that has the flamethrower. They never call him KG Beast. Okay, gotcha. We're here with Hack the Movies Puerto Rican correspondent Mike the Bearded Outlaw. Hello, Mike. How are you?
Hello. Can you hear me this time?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Your TV's off.
My TV's off.
You sound perfect. I want to apologize for all the statements made by Adam Does Movies.
That's what I was going to say.
Finally, Mike gets to watch a Transformers movie and sees himself represented, and then Adam's just like, Shia did it better.
Yep, Shia did it better. Give me another Mark Wahlberg movie. You know?
Yeah, bring back Mark Wahlberg.
He was way better than Mark Wahlberg. I'll say that.
So yeah, what did you think of Transformers?
I liked it.
Yep.
Compared to like the 6 other ones we've gotten, it was a nice change. Like I did enjoy Bumblebee from what it was, but the Mark Wahlberg ones, I watched half of the first one, cut it off. Couldn't deal with it.
It's more than 30 minutes.
What did you think of Spider-Verse?
I really enjoyed Spider-Verse. I think it did drag on too long. There was like that. The last 15, 20 minutes, I was like, okay, is it going to end? Is it going to end?
I will say, I looked up Spider-Verse, and I'm sorry if this is news to you, Mike. You might have a Chris Pratt Mario situation. I looked up the guy who plays Miles Morales.
Yes,
and I'm like, because I was going to be like, good, Mike gets more Puerto Rican stuff, and I see Early Life, and I see Jamaican, and I went, uh-oh.
Yeah.
They did it twice to us, Mike. We both got screwed over.
We did get screwed, but hey, at least they're both solid movies.
They are good movies.
Yeah.
What other movies on the list did you see?
That's all I've seen.
Did you see Dial of Destiny today?
I haven't seen that one. I am going to go see it, though. For whatever reason, my 7-year-old nephew wants to see it.
Oh, wow.
I think he's heard Tony, though, mention, like, oh, this movie's me fucking god awful. So he's like, oh, Mike, we can laugh at it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Has he seen the other ones?
No.
You can laugh at Chris.
Don't ruin the kid. What are you doing?
Hey, man, he just likes going to the movies.
Yeah, he might enjoy it. We'll see.
It's gonna make the originals that much better when he sees
Oh,
them.
that's,
Right,
that's a
exactly.
good point. Yeah.
Take
That
him at
actually
the low
did-
point, bring him into the high point.
That does work because I knew people who saw like Alien versus Predator first and they went, that fucking sucked. I'm like, watch these other ones. Like, oh, those are actually good.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it tomorrow with Johanna. We have it planned and we're gonna film the review. I'm not excited for it.
Tony,
Look,
when
look.
I walked out of the theater today after seeing it, right before coming on the stream, the first thing I said on my little reaction I haven't posted yet because I'm wasting my time on here was maybe I was too harsh on Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, the nicest thing I've seen like people saying are like, it's better than Crystal Skull. I'm like, that you can't win the over with that anymore, guys.
I've been seeing people like trying to like be on Crystal Skull's side now. Like it wasn't that bad. It's actually a good movie. And, like,
oh my god, yeah.
Where are you? Like how many
the
years ago?
They're doing the prequel shit now.
They're doing the prequel shit with
it wasn't
the
that
Crystal
bad.
Skull. No.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck you. No. So yeah, I will see that tomorrow night. Hopefully shoot a review. Hopefully nothing comes up. I'm not looking forward to it. Look, Michael Keaton in The Flash, I thought he was going to be terrible. He was good. It's just all his fighting just took me out of it. Because again, young Michael Keaton couldn't do any of those moves. And I'm supposed to believe elderly, like Adam-aged Michael Keaton could do those moves? Like, no, that'll never happen.
Was he supposed to be the same Batman?
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, Mike, it's a bowl of spaghetti,
or
right?
is it like just a Michael Keaton? He just looks like the same guy.
Do you want me to make some spaghetti? I'm gonna make it anyway. I'm Italian, and I'll explain it again.
Or I mean, at least Batman Returns never happened because that was the
because the Batman
Return, right?
The Batman Returns suit is there. I guess he has 2 mansions. I don't know. We talked about it in the Flash episode. Stop bringing up the Flash, everyone.
We didn't get a chance to talk about it. So I gotta talk to you now, dude. Jeez.
This is a show, not a hangout. We
fine.
DM'd each other about
we
it,
did,
asshole. So anyway, thank you for coming out. Again, our Puerto Rican correspondent, the Bearded Outlaw, who always calls us out whenever we're not honoring the brave Puerto Rican people.
You guys on your backlash show.
Keeps us accountable.
Yeah. Me and Joey watched a wrestling thing. That was a wrestling event that was in Puerto Rico. We ended up talking about a dead white wrestler who murdered his family. And he's like, why are you talking about this?
Have to rep my boy Bad Bunny during
Adam, I'm real sorry. Bad Bunny will no longer be in the Sony Spider-Man El Muerto movie. I heard.
Adam's celebrating tonight.
I
got that Puerto Rican out of that movie.
I saw that article and I popped champagne.
Yes,
I told
you did.
the family, like, one less Puerto Rican.
My family's been depressed and crying the last couple of days, We
did it.
But Mike, I just think this is an opportunity for you. You got to audition, man.
I do.
You got to audition. Go to that audition. Be like, I could be El Muerto. I have all his. Does he even have comics? I don't know. I do not know.
Wow.
I have no idea who that character is.
He's been in 2 issues of Spider-Man
until that movie was announced.
And now he's your favorite character, right?
It's my favorite character. It wasn't my favorite character. It was my next tattoo. And then now.
Oh, actually, speaking of all this shit, they have yet to put Italian Spider-Man in any of the Spider-Verse stuff.
I know. Yep.
That was the funniest viral video from like 2008, the Italian Spider-Man trailer. Which is the fat guy in the sweater who like shotguns people. I'm like, why is he not in any of these Spider-Verse? If you've never seen Italian Spider-Man, it was
make it better, Tony. Like I told you, I have Italian Catwoman tattooed on my arm for you.
Oh, good. But yes, check out Italian Spider-Man. It was a trailer and they turned it into a web series. It's real. If you've ever seen an Italian knockoff of a big movie, it's a lot of fun.
All right.
Anyway, Mike, again, I apologize for Adam. Let me kick you out here.
Yes, that's okay. That's okay.
Okay, goodbye. Get your super chats in. We're going to read them. But first, we got to talk to the one and Dennis. Hello.
There he is.
Hello. Oh my God, that is
that shirt, man.
God, look at that shirt. Oh my
God.
Doppelganger.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm sure Gil, Adam, and Wyatt, they feel left out.
They do.
And when that shirt hits the Retroware store, I'll make sure to send them links so they can watch it. I mean, they can wear it. They can wear it. They can watch the shirts. They'll frame it.
I'm just gonna stare
wearing
at
the
it
shirt
all day.
Adam's wife's gonna be like, "Are you gonna review any movies?" Now I'm watching this shirt. It's just so good.
it's
Just lost in his eyes.
I haven't taken mine off since Too Many Games.
And yeah, it was great hanging out with you at Too Many Games, Dennis. Thank you for your gift, which I opened in front of Joey C outside of a Buffalo Wild Wings.
Thank you for my gift, Dennis. I appreciate it.
It was great to see both of you again.
Dennis, which movies on the list did you see?
So I only had time to see Transformers, and yeah, it wasn't terrible. I've only seen the first 2 Transformers movies because I liked the first one, but then I was like, why is there another one? Oh, it's a car commercial / same thing I saw already. So I stopped watching them, but I watched the one today, actually, the newest one, and it wasn't bad. I thought the humor in it kind of saved it for me. My favorite part was the racism part, if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
Was,
So one thing I forgot to say, I did like how Rise of the Beast kind of poked fun at the other Transformers movies, because he kind of calls out, it's like, why do you have a Spanish accent? Because it kind of is stupid that they have all the accents.
so
Like, yeah, it's just like, I guess I just live here and I have the accent. The robots are like, what accent? Is that just not how people talk?
Yeah, the Transformers are all like characters in Super Punch Out. They're just super racist stereotypes of.
Look, it's not as bad as it was in the Michael Bay movies. They got pretty bad with those.
I like the Roddy Piper part too. The entrance, you hear the Roddy Piper line.
Yep.
That was pretty good.
Beautiful.
But yeah, all right. Thank you for stopping by, Dennis.
Thanks, man, for having me.
Thank you,
Okay.
Dennis.
I'll talk to you later.
Move from stream. All right, let's do these super chats, boys. Okay, we got AJ
boys.
boys. AJ Wizzle for $4.99 in Looney Tunes dollars. Are you hoping Mala Ram will make an appearance in Dial of Destiny? Adam, if there's one thing you could spoil, would you spoil that?
I don't remember.
Do you know who?
Ram?
The bad guy from
the bad guy
from Temple of
I
Doom.
don't remember character names. Is he the guy that pulls the heart out?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah. No, I don't think he's in it.
Oh,
Sorry.
God damn it.
That's sad.
I thought Indiana Jones was gonna go back No Way Home style.
Who knows his name is Mala Ram?
Me.
Oh, yeah.
God.
Indiana Jones says it. He goes,
I
Mala
watch
Ram.
the movies. I don't look into the lore afterwards. Like,
The lore.
yeah, he's like a Mortal Kombat character. He pulls a fatality, and then that's it.
Okay. Ryan Powell for $5 says, I didn't see anything new this month, so I just wanted to drop by and say hello. Looking forward to the return of Cazilla. Cazilla will be back soon because they're changing the YouTube requirements for monetization. So when they drop it down to 3,000 hours of watch time, it will be monetized and we will be back.
I'm on one of those, right? I'm in like your best.
Yes,
episode.
you were in the one with Jet Jaguar, Godzilla versus Megalon. It was a great one. That had an anniversary not too long ago.
Great episode, yeah.
That was great. Remember the one with the kid and his dad's friend who was just his friend, and that's all they were. They were just friends.
It's so funny.
It was a great movie.
That's the only old Godzilla movie I've ever seen, so that was a fun one to watch.
Yeah. Okay, and then Eli Corbett for $1.99 says, "Mommy Milkers 3, Tony and the Quest for Breasts."
Fuck yes, Mommy Milkers, baby. Every live wrap up.
He always comes in with Mommy Milkers.
The Quest for Breasts.
I mean, look. I have been single for 2 years, so yes, I am on a quest for those breasts. All right.
It makes it funnier that his icon is Frodo Baggins. I don't know why, but
Speaking of which, she's not really known for her mommy milkers, but that ex-porn star Sasha Grey, I just saw that she's in a movie with Elijah Wood. I'm like, oh, that's right. She's like an actress now. I'm like, I never would have thought Elijah Wood in all these big movies. Now he's like direct-to-video movie with former porn star Sasha Grey.
One Take is a family-friendly channel, so if anybody screenshots this with that in the corner, and then Adam's there too.
Adam's there. Yeah. Adam, I have to apologize for your.
It's just a hate. I hit 70,000 and now I'm a target. I'm just a target for you guys.
The funny thing
like
is,
a disclaimer over his box or something.
The funny thing is, I have way more problematic friends than Adam.
I'm I'm like the lamest guy on the screen.
All right, so Fior says Transformers Rise of the Beast. Let me tell you, Joey, you got a copyright that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this movie. Felt there was balance. The atmosphere was good. For under 2 hours, chef's kiss. It was a pretty short movie.
Yeah.
And I like that they don't kill Unicron at the end. They're just saving him for later.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been ridiculous if they did. It's like, where do you go? It's like in the first Wonder Woman where Ares is the villain. Like, I think you kind of maybe went a little too hard on the villain for the first time. You got a war, maybe not the best way to start. You got to build into that.
And then I think I'm noticing a theme here. David Bauer, $5. Tony loves mommy milkers. Are these all mommy milker? What the fuck?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I saw Rhea was in the chat earlier. She was at Too Many Games this weekend. I got to meet Rhea for the first time in person. And I'm assuming she was in the chat and then started seeing all this mommy milker shit. She's like, all right, I gotta leave.
Yep.
I gotta leave this incel chud group. Fior again says, continuing my last super chat, this is what Age of Extinction should have been, just about the Dinobots adapting with the dinosaurs, hence the title. Yeah, the Dinobots were just kind of thrown in on that one, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. They were like, yeah, Dinobots, here's another fucking toy. Okay. AJ Wizzle for $4.99 again says, Tony, what happened to your review of Police Academy for Pride Month? Now, bear with me. I don't remember all 7 or 8 Police Academy movies. It's been a while. I remember the Michael Winslow, is that his name, made sound effects.
Yep.
What does Police Academy have to do with Pride? Is there a connection there that I'm not? Is it just they start with the letter P? Is that what he's going for there? Okay.
Oh, it's gay. It's gay.
Police Academy's gay? Okay. All right. Well, good for Police Academy.
Yeah.
That makes it. I know one of them, they go to Moscow. It must have been hard to be gay in that movie, but I'm glad they pulled it off. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Any more super chats? Can we please not end on Pride Month Police Academy? Okay. Eli Corbett again for $1.99. Will you ever review Mimic or The Devil's Backbone? I would love to talk about Mimic.
Mimic is awesome.
Yeah.
Don't they hit spoons together? One of the guys?
Yeah.
Communicates.
Yeah. There's 3 of those movies.
I like Devil's Backbone.
There's only one. Come on.
That's pretty decent.
I don't remember Devil's Backbone.
It's a great Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, I know. I can't remember it.
Okay.
I have to check it out again. The Flail says, Daddy Dilkers.
Fuck yeah, dude. Daddy Dilkers.
Is that what the 8th Police Academy movie is about?
That's the Pride one, yeah.
Police Academy, Daddy Dilkers. By the way,
what are you saying? We some sort of police academy?
I don't know. I don't know how this got on my radar for some reason, but there are about 1 million Bring It On movies, and apparently the last one was a slasher, like a direct-to-video slasher horror movie for Bring It On. I'm like, wow, they really Bring It On and Air Bud. Those are just 2 series that went in weird directions.
Wow. There's a bunch of American Pie movies, too, that went straight to DVD.
Yeah. I still haven't seen American Reunion. I'm like 10 years, 12 years too late for that.
It wasn't very good.
Okay, we'll leave some more super chats as I wrap up here. I want to let everyone know that the next episode is What is the Worst Jaws sequel. That'll be out on Monday. But if you're a patron or YouTube channel member at the $2 tier, you can watch it right now. And let me know if I made any mistakes and need to re-edit it before it goes out, because I don't have an editor anymore. So I figured out a way to monetize people helping me with videos. But you get the episode early.
Is it number 3 or number 4, Tony? Which one's the worst?
You're gonna have to watch that episode, Adam.
It's 4.
I'll be joined by Kit Osborne, professional wrestler Kit Osborne, who I bully all the time online. Because, he's like an indie mud show guy. He's not like a real wrestler, So that is available on Patreon right now. And if you want it to be like the cool people tonight, you can join the $10 tier on Patreon. You get to be on the live episodes. You get exclusive backgrounds, which actually this month are Batman Returns themed. The wonderful Nick Code drew me and Frank as Batman and Robin and Crystal as Catwoman. Yeah, and you get to be on these live episodes. It's a lot of fun. You also get Discord access. We have a whole Discord channel. We're in there. We're making fun of Adam. We're looking up. We're figuring out his employer. We're doxing. It's a great time. It's a great time. I don't know. You're my enemy tonight. Oh, that's right. You turned Mint Salad against me. That's why I hate you. I forgot the origin of our hatred.
That's right.
But yes, okay. I think we only have one super chat left, and of course, we're gonna end on Tony's love for mommy milkers.
I'm sorry, Tony. Did you see Mike already tweeted out hate against me?
Hold on. I gotta see this.
Had a blast talking movies with my homies, official Joey C and Hack the Movies. Even though Adam Does Movies spent a good portion hating on my strong Puerto Rican people. It's over for me. It's completely crumbled.
Canceled.
Yeah, exactly.
Happy 70K subscriber.
I'm gonna leave this room and my wife's gonna be like, "How did the stream go, honey?" I'll be like, "Pack your bags." It's all over.
It was a good run.
My kids will come out, "Papa, what's wrong?" I was gonna hack the movies tonight. It's over.
Your kids say "Papa,
Papa, Papa,
Papa."
Are you Little House on the Prairie? Like raising your kids? Oh my god. So yeah, Hack the Movies, patreon.com/hack the movies. All right, everyone. Joey, plug your channel. Where can we find you?
You folks can find me at youtube.com/officialjoeyc or patreon.com/officialjoeyc. I'd love to have you there.
Gil, where can we find you? Please plug your channel. We got to draw more attention to your channel to help it grow. Gil, let us know where it is.
You can find me at youtube.com/one-take-vids, where we have some good, clean fun. No talk of dilkers or milkers or anything disgusting like that.
Just good, clean fun.
Adam will never be invited on after his horrible actions.
Starting to feel bad now.
No, believe me.
You're a great guy.
It's all well good.
Wyatt, do you have any new episodes out? Like maybe one about a Toby Hooper movie that features a Hack the Movies member?
Yeah, last week I actually had Poltergeist featuring Crystal Quinn. Go check that one out.
Oh my god!
And I actually just released a new review yesterday of Jurassic Park for its 30th anniversary. Go check that one out as well. And I'm also on Twitter and Instagram at Cinema Trip Reviews and anywhere you get your podcasts.
Okay, Adam. Other than the unemployment line, where can we find you?
I don't even want to push myself at this point. You guys can go to hell.
What's the use?
Yeah.
I feel like this is like the end of Deadpool 2, where he just insists Cable's racist. Cable's like, "What are you talking about?" Anyway, keep going.
It's just Adam Does Movies on YouTube or my website www.mommymilkers at adamdoesmovies.com. Either one's fine.
Yes. That is it from us. I mean, if you have mommy milkers, feel free to DM them to me. I'll rate them. Feel free to send them to Joey. Send them to everyone. Just don't send them to Adam. Okay, that is it from us, guys. Goodbye. I'm ending the broadcast right now.
Tony sucks.